Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Everybody is welcome. Inshallah, we will continue studying the section Araf, which is a long section, the longest section of the Meccan period. Now, we studied up to verse 90, Araf, 7th section of the Qur'an, 90, and which says, again, as usual, describing it, we'll talk about why Qur'an frequently describes how the people were rejected the prophets and destroyed at the end. Of course, we will talk about it in details. Let's see the disbelieving notables among his people said, again, notables, not ordinary people, those people who think that they have somehow status, self-appointed status, or people, they gain people's respect for some worldly reasons, but not all of them, even from the notables, but denying notables among his people, said, you will certainly be losers if you follow Shu'aib. Now they were threatening, we studied last week, threatening Shu'aib. Now because Shu'aib said, no, I'm not ready for it. It really looks very, very unacceptable for me, very bad and disgusting things to go back to your religion. So they now lost hope to threaten Shu'aib, and they started threatening the followers now, his followers. And then what happened? An earthquake overtook them, and they lay lifeless, lying faceless, down in their homes. This is the description. Earthquake shook them and really knocked them down, but especially this description of now, Jathimin, fi darihim Jathimin. In their homes, we talk about it, their homes, when they feel comfortable in their comfort zone, in their ideas, in their understanding of the world, and enjoying this world only. And of course, this is a bodily enjoyment. We will talk about it. But lying face down, completely humiliated. They rejected to prostrate before God, but they were given destruction in such a way that they have to really go to prostration before the Creator's command. It means Creator's will. This is the description, physical description of how the destruction happened. Okay, let's go a little bit and then go what these kind of descriptions can be, or how we can apply them to our present day life. So verse 69 says, those who rejected Shu'aib were wiped out, as if they were never lived there. It means as if in this land, no people were living and enjoying their life here. So total destruction of the world life. Those who rejected Shu'aib were the true losers, khasirin. So Yeah, we have to pay attention to these phrases. I'm looking at my notes. You have to pay attention to the phrase like they had never lived there. What does it mean? If I forget how we should understand this kind of rhetoric, if you like, it means description of the destruction of the deniers. What does it mean for me now? كانوا هم الخاسرون also, they have never benefited from their human life. So that the messenger kept reminding them they should listen to their inner voice, the voice of human spirit. They didn't. They were losers. So real losers, or worst losers, really. So فتولى عنهم وقال يا قومي لقد أبلغتكم رسالات ربي ونصحت لكم كيف آسى على قوم كافرين. Now he turned away from them and saying, oh my people, indeed. He is sorry. He's not happy that they were destroyed. That's why he was trying to save them by the message.
Are you reading them verse 93, Brother Ali?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on, keep it short. Next slide, please. That's it. I understand. So, okay, you know the confusion. I have another computer. I'm following from there. So he turned away from them and saying, oh, my people, indeed, I have delivered to you the message of my Lord and given you sincere advice. Now, usually the prophets are advised to speak to people as their word, as your word sent, your Lord sent me, dear Lord. But here they were destroyed, and Shuaib is so sorry to see the scene there. They are completely destroyed because he was taken away. It means he was informed that the calamity is coming, go away, and he went away. So with the followers of God, they are saved. What does it mean? Well, in this kind of events, you know, someone may note which kind of questions we have to understand. Why the prophet and his followers are saved? What does it mean? Now, something is happening and there is no distinction. And other verses also emphasizes that when the calamity, God's decision comes to destroy a people, a group of people, then there is no distinction. So we have to deal with kind of questions. So yeah, I have delivered to you the message of my Lord, and because they were dead now, my Lord becomes my Lord, because they didn't accept. That is finished. They are not really subject to the message anymore. They left this world. So my Lord was performing you about your Lord, but you didn't listen. You have no Lord now, and giving you sincere advice. نصحت لكم. Now, how can I then grieve for you who are deniers of the truth? Because, yes, I'm not happy, but now how can I be really cry on your death now? You chose it. I warned you day and night, but you didn't listen. You just rejected. Even you wanted to expel us from the land. That is what the result of deniers. So, if you deny the truth. Okay, let's move. Now, 94. وما أرسلنا في قرية من نبي إلا أخذنا أهلها بالبأساء والضراء لعلهم يضرعون. Now, we have to be careful now. Whenever we send a messenger to a town, we afflicted it is disbelieving people with suffering and hardships. Of course, I put a disbelieving in brackets. Why? Usually, in this case, in the case of this kind of prophets, the believers are saved, where we read in Noah's story, believers are saved. Abraham's story, Abraham was only the believing nation, the only man, one man. It is interesting. So he was saved, and the rest were destroyed. So, for example, Moses' case, Pharaoh's people are destroyed, but the followers of Moses, including Moses, were saved. But we don't see any distinction nowadays. This is a question. We afflicted it is disbelieving people with suffering and hardships so that they might humble themselves. Of course, humble themselves before God. It means accept that. Humble themselves means stop being arrogant as if they exist, as if you are the source of existence of yourself and you own your life. No, it is completely dependent. So accept it and be an honorable worshiper of God, not arrogant liar, cheating yourself, misleading yourself, saying that I don't need any super being above me. Okay, this is the result. And then we changed their hardship in the prosperity so that they were able to thrive. But when they said hardship and affluence also befell our forefathers, now because in other people are created, we changed their hardship into prosperity. Now other people are enjoying now. Instead of them, there will be other people enjoying them, so that they were able to thrive. Of course, got the land after they gone and started using their ability free booty, as if so. They were able to thrive, but then they said, well, hardship and affluence also befell our forefathers. It is normal. Then we seized them suddenly, and when they were not suddenly, when they were not expecting it, it means really. Are we on the same page? Yes. Yeah, I mean, we can understand God's blessings are always with us, but if we don't appreciate it, of course, we will get lost. If they will be taken away from us. Now, 96. If the people of those communities has believed and been mindful of us, we would have showered them with grace out of heaven and earth, but they rejected the truth, and so we seized them for what they had earned. Somebody should take place, please. Take the note, please. This is the question. Again, I will explain the question. If the people of those communities had believed and been mindful of us, we would have showered them with grace out of heaven and earth. You know, we don't really see this happening to believing people. Those believing people, sincere Christians or sincere Jews, or especially sincere believers, Muslims, believing Muslims, they don't see that. You know, the grace out of heaven and earth is being showered on them. Look at their miserable life as compared to the somehow prosperous life of the unbelievers in general, not submitting or admitting God. Yes, for example, in America, we live in a Christian community, but churches are not really very active. Once a week, not really many people. Muslim population has the same appearance, but still believing people are not prosperous in the world. So we would have showered them with grace out of heaven and earth, but they rejected the truth, and so we seized them for what they had earned. If the people didn't believe them, they were punished. Again, same question. We don't see them, they are punished, they are dying in prosperity. Question, they are dying in prosperity, and believing people are not necessarily 100%, but generally speaking, not enjoying their life as much as unbelieving people. Seemingly, it looks like it. Okay, 97. Now, can the people of any community ever feel secure that our punishment will not come upon them by night while they are asleep? Now, this is also interesting. While they are asleep, when I go to bed, I will say, I am going to rest now. That is correct. Body will be resting. But what happened? Guaranteed my resting existence? While I am resting, I guaranteed that it will be really kept alive again? No one knows. Recently, what's happening in the eastern part of the world, in Syria, Turkey, it happened at night. But it is not applicable to this case. We will talk about it. Why? You can remind me why this really heartbreaking scenery, earthquake took place in Syria and Turkey as well. And they were sleeping. Of course, they didn't have anything. Those who saved their life, they are, so for some reason, the building, some parts of the building didn't collapse on them. Their bedroom was outside, so they fell out, etc. So they were not having anything, and it was below really freezing degree. No, yeah. So they couldn't really even protect themselves from the cold. It was so hard. Okay, but this verse is not referring to this, and we will ask the question, why? Why not? Why it is not referring to this case as well? It is the earthquake, and the people suffered. Most of the people lost their life and home. I mean, 10, 12 cities, they say, I don't talk about this kind of things or go into details. That's, of course, this is something that heartbreaking. Everybody should have something to do with it. But they say the people are evacuating. Can you imagine? 12 or 13 cities are evacuated. They need to be rebuilt. Oh, yeah, it is a really unexperienced case in the world, what they say, I hear actually. So can the people of any community ever feel secure that our punishment will not come upon them in broad daylight? It means everybody is enjoying, doing their, busy with their worldly life and enjoying their life. Now, keeping themselves busy with other things and seems to be, or seemingly not thinking about their reality. So can we make sure, secure that while we are active, the punishment will not come? God's punishment will not come. Although in both cases, it will. Now, let's read 99. Again, the same kind of, slightly different details, but same kind of scenario have been presented to us, all the verses that we have been reading. Very quickly. Can they ever feel secure from God's plan? Only the people who are losers feel secure from God's plan. Question.
Next slide, please.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that reminder. So only losers feel secure from God's plan. Only the people who are losers feel secure from God's plan. What does it mean? God's plan, and I will make myself secure, guaranteed that God's plan cannot apply on me because I am the owner and controller of my life. Okay, I think this is the last verse we should study and deal with the questions. That is the problem. Is there not a lesson for those who have inherited the land after the destruction of its former residents? That question, I hope somebody is taking notes. I forgot which kind of questions we raised so far. The destruction of its former residents, after the destruction, we inherit something, but for example, living in now, anywhere in the world, which people were destroyed and we inherited the land from them and now we are prosperous on it, enjoying it. We don't see that. Generations by generations, as far as we know, nothing happened. And there was no destroyed people, seems to be. Is it really? Question. Please, this is a very serious question as well. If we will, we can punish them too for their sins and seal their hearts so they will not hear the truth anymore. La yasma'un means not really. Physically, somebody is speaking and like me cannot hear properly or cannot hear at all. No. The truth, they cannot hear the truth so that the truth will not enter into their inner life, inner feelings, spirit. Question again. Many questions. So let's start from the first question. Who took the notes of questions? No one? No one bothered about that? I am
The one I remember, why does the Quran keep mentioning about the people being destroyed, rejected, who were destroyed by rejecting the prophets? That's one question.
Now, first of all, let me start from the very, very broad understanding of the case of the Quran. Very broad. So that we will read all these kind of stories narrated in the Quran according to these principles first. But concerning these narrations, this kind of destruction narrations, destroying narrations in the Quran of the previous tribes that we don't experience now. Why we don't? Since we don't, and we are not, why the Quran keeps talking about the previous nations? Nothing to do with me. It's not happening in my life. Now, first of all the prophets, even the last one before the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, Jesus, were sent to particular tribes. Not all the world, particular tribes. Jesus was sent only to children of Israel. In somewhere, Palestine, a part of Lebanon and Syria. Now, in that area, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, and some part of Jordan as well, yeah, on the both sides of this sea. And these people, as an example, destroyed to the rest of the people because there were some left. So they hear what happened. For example, now because of the media, it is immediately known what happened during this recent earthquake. Everybody is aware. Everybody is really trying to do their best. Every institution, I hear that, they are trying to do their best to help these millions of people really out of home, homeless. Can you imagine? Millions of people homeless. Okay. Or something like 14, 15 million. That's what I hear. I don't know reality. I mean, knowing the reality is not really important by great number of people. They are aware now. But in olden days, it may take a month or so, but still they hear. And another prophet is sent afterwards for the next generation when they are corrupted. But in the case of Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam, it changed. Muhammad was, alayhi salatu wasalam, don't think that I'm respectful because people keep saying, alayhi salatu wasalam. Yes, I understand we have to, but it becomes an unconscious repetition of alayhi salatu wasalam or sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So I wanted to keep it in some specific cases that I have to say it consciously and deliberately. When I say it, I will really mean it. And I have to have the reason why I said alayhi salatu wassalam. So we have to understand this, the mystery of salawat. we should really mean it. Why? Why do you say alayhi salatu wasalam? Why do you send salam to him? Just because he said, when my name is mentioned, okay, when we say Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, as if Muhammad is first name, alayhi salatu wasalam is last name. It becomes like this. Or we have to be conscious of what we are doing. Anyways, let us be free now from the pressure of the society or social culture. Of course, we respect the culture, we respect people, but at the same time, really, we shouldn't blindly imitate them, personally, of course. So if someone is sensitive, I say, alayhi salatu wasalam, when I mention the name. If I don't want to break people's hearts, why not? Because they are respectful. Yes, they present their respect in this way. I respect their respect to the Prophet. So, when the Prophet was sent, he was sent to the whole world. In this age, even 21st century, and the media or all these technological facilities, do you think all people are aware of the message of the Prophet who was sent to all people? No. Still, if you like, using the same terminology used in the Qur'an for the previous prophets and destruction stories as well, they all heard and they took part. Followers of the prophets, the rejectors of the prophet, and if the sections became clear, rejectors are destroyed. Followers are saved, and other people around are innocent because they haven't heard. Now, even if you like, the prophet, messenger of God's people, tribe, has not been completely aware or become aware of his message. In this age, all the facilities, everybody can, but they don't know what Islam is. Even I question, among the Muslim communities who respect Mus'haf, the book like this, very much. You don't touch it if you don't have wudu. It's all right, very good for the people to respect, because for them, the Mus'haf is not Mus'haf, it is the Qur'an. Qur'an needs to be respected. Mus'haf needs to be respected because for the believers, it represents and carries the meaning in figures on its pages. If someone is aware of it. Otherwise, it is a lump of paper. So for those people who don't know the value of the speech of God, and the book is not sacred anymore, they can treat it as they want. Yeah, it is not sacred for them. So, for those people who respect the Mus'haf, and then they are aware that it is the word of God, speech of God. Are they really aware the message of the Quran? Go and speak to them. Communicate with them. Not really. Just it's an identity, like national identity, and also some sort of national culture or Islamic culture. Are they really aware why they should believe in what the Quran is saying? For example, why they should believe, and what is the benefit of believing in these destruction stories? They will say, God says so, this said, or whatever they say, doesn't matter. Let's not criticize people. No, I'm saying even the Muslim population are not aware of the message. And if everybody on earth is aware of the message and the believers are distinguished from the or separated from the unbelievers, and they really reject again and try to threaten the followers of the Prophet Muhammad, now the destruction will come. But this destruction will be the end of the world. Why? It means doomsday in the language of the Quran, Qiyamah. Why? Because believers are separated and saved, and they were given death as well in the description of the Quran, but nicely, happily, they are happy to return to their Creator because they are aware of where they are going. But unbelievers will ever suffer. And there is no way for the world, to universe to exist, end of the existence of the universe. That is called doomsday, the last day, or I think it's called the last day, isn't it? The day of complete destruction. Because if the humans are not on the earth, who is going to read the message of the Quran? The only conscious part of this universe in the material form are human beings. So material form of the universe will be destroyed, but the meaning side, angelic side, because the angels are not destroyed with the Qiyamah or the total destruction last day. The hour, when the hour comes, angels are not the material, so they are not destroyed. So human beings are destroyed. The rest of the creatures cannot really read a book. If there is a book and no one is reading it, but what is the value of keeping the book in your shelf? It is not a book anymore because it is not read. Now, that is what I understand, or my mind understand what doomsday means and why the followers of the Prophet and the people of the Prophet Muhammad, all humankind, are not experiencing this kind of destructions, disasters. So we have to be very careful. Now, the earthquake, the last earthquake took place among the land where most of the people call themselves Muslims there, but it could have been anywhere in the world, and it has been happening anywhere in the world. We should never, ever describe this kind of events taking place as it is described for the destruction of the total rejectors of the previous prophets because of their rejection as a punishment. I definitely disagree with this. Why? Because punishment, destruction for punishment is for the people who totally disconnected themselves from and rejected the prophetic message. So there is no need for them to live anymore. For these people now, here and there, in the Muslim world, non-Muslim world, Christian world, or atheist world, I don't know, is there any really a land where atheists are living? The administration may describe themselves as atheists. In Turkey, as far as I know, in Syria, as far as I know, people claim Muslims and they pray and they are all related to religious life, and they keep saying Allah, Allah, Allah in every occasion. Administration in Turkey is atheist, secular administration. Administration in Syria is atheist, secular education. Most of the administration of the Muslim countries are, not most, really all, with no exception, dictators. Elected dictators, non-elected dictators, self-elected dictators, but at the end, all of them are dictators. So nothing to do with reality, truth. So anyways, this is the case. So we shouldn't say China is totally atheist. No, most of the people of China, billions of people are innocent. They don't know anything. The message has not arrived to them. No one explained what was the prophetic Muhammad's message, Prophet Muhammad's message. How can you say that they are atheists? They don't know anything. They know only their local culture. That's it. So we have to be careful while we are accusing people. You know why? This punishment came to them because of something, their crime. Look, it is a warning. For whom? Not for those who died. For those who are left behind. For those who died, they must be deserving either martyrdom, shahada, or sadaqah. It means their properties those properties will be treated as charity. Why? So they suffered in order to be a witness to those people who were left. So God said, okay, I'm going to take your life and I will take care of it. Don't worry. In paradise, I will give you certain status. So you will enjoy the rest of life. You will be very thankful that I gave you this death or any kind of injuries. But for the rest of the people, that is a test now. Why? Whether they will take lesson from it or not. It means for us, for me and for you. I'm sure you must have heard of it. So in the case of the, if you like, followers, people of the messenger of God, Muhammad, is different from the previous cases because he is the unique prophet sent to the whole mankind. He has no tribe anymore. He has people and nas. The previous ones, qawmi. But the Quran says, Ya ayyuhan nas, all people. Who are they? Everyone on earth. So that is one main point I would like to discuss with you. So while we are reading these stories, we should, when we want to bring it into their life, we shouldn't say, look, why the believers are not saved and non-believers are destroyed. We never see them. Or this story is told us in the Quran. How can I believe in it? I don't experience it in my life. No, these stories are told us. Let me see, Anna. Okay, these stories are told us for some other purposes. Not to expect that the believers are going to be saved and unbelievers are destroyed. They will never enjoy their worldly life. No. We will touch upon it, but I wonder, our friend Anne wrote something. I changed We changed their hardship into prosperity so that they were able to thrive. But then they said, hardship and affluence also befell our forefathers. Then we seized them suddenly when they were not expecting it. This is what I believe was the first question. Thank you very much. This is the question. So we are going to, inshallah, now we seized them suddenly. Yeah, we are going to get into it. All right, thank you. And the next or the other questions was, if the people of those communities had believed and been mindful of us, we would have showered them with grace out of heaven and truth, but they rejected the truth, and so we seized them for what they had earned. Okay, let me keep this one on the screen for myself. You don't see it, but I see it. So you can open it and see on your screen if you like. So let me cover this before the time is over. Now, you know that our reality has two aspects: bodily enjoyment and the enjoyment of the feelings. So while those people don't really regard what human feelings, what their own feelings request, begs, dies for, craves. I want this satisfaction. Those people who don't really listen to the listen to the voice of their feelings, they define their life and say, and condition themselves and say, our life is the only life, as the Qur'an says. We are born, we die, and we enjoy our life, and then die after certain time. We keep talking about this, saying that, look, if you don't believe in the hereafter, if you don't believe that your creator is the absolute infinite one, you have to have a life in the bodily form, enjoy this universe as without meaning, but benefiting from its material beauties and also bounties, blessings for human beings, and don't read the meaning in it. Don't read the message the universe brings about its creator. What happens? You keep enjoying your worldly life, but human beings cannot deny the fact that their reality from inside, they feel the feelings, and how do they live now? The psychology of denying or rejecting the truth, the denier psychology. Look, I am getting very close to the end of my life. As I lose it, as I lost it yesterday, it is gone. Whatever I enjoyed, gone. And tomorrow, it is not clear. Why? Because tomorrow, even while I'm sleeping, I cannot guarantee. While I am busy with the world and keeping myself busy, it is okay. But when I am released from any kind of doing business and doing some work in this world, which is the escape point for most people, don't think of their reality. But when I have something happens to me, I suddenly got alarmed. Why? Look, my uncle died. Look, my mother died. What's happening? It is a big shock for them. And they say, oh, okay, that's the end of life. And I'm getting closer to it. And what they do, they experience the destroyal of their every moment within themselves, but they pretend to ignore it. They, by defining and conditioning yourself, pretend to ignore it. We have to understand this psychology of denying, which is kufr, really denying the reality. Because they know, I'm getting closer, and I cannot keep it. I cannot keep it. Yesterday is gone, don't forget. Tomorrow, not guaranteed, but definitely at the end, I will lose it. Definitely at the end, I will lose it. This psychology, look at this. Every moment, receiving and losing, and next moment, unknown. Even they receive, still getting closer to their ultimate destruction. This is what is going on definitely as human beings now. For example, now the earthquake, I hear that even the secular people organized, I don't know whether they are organizing or not. I have no time really to go into media to watch them. None of my business who are doing, but here and there, I hear some pieces of information from the people keep talking about me. I said, okay, cut it short. What is the result? Tell me. They say, everybody in the world, all the states are in the world, are really rallying to support these millions of homeless people. All the rich people lost their houses and their business places. It is very interesting. One of my friends' father is doing some sort of business, and the accountant sent them a message saying that we are sorry, my clients, very sorry, we lost all your records. You have no record now. I don't know. You are not going to pay any tax because there is no business either going on. So why bother? Business has gone, records of the business have gone, so why bother? You see the word? That is, unbelievers are continuously experiencing within themselves, although they try to cover it up, shut it up. Don't turn blind or deaf to this voice of their heart, their consciousness, their feelings. Continuous distraction. At least these people describe it in the Qur'an. They enjoyed their life, although within themselves they destroyed, but they were feeling it physically, but at the end, totally destroyed everything suddenly. But these people now, they are continuously experiencing the destruction of their life. I don't know. I am on a ship. I don't know. It is going to definitely sink, and I don't know when and where. Now, maybe, I don't know, next moment, maybe those people who experienced the earthquake there, they were not expecting anything. They must have lots of programs like me, written all sorts of programs for the future on their calendar. I will go there, I will do this tomorrow. Everything is gone at one night while you are sleeping. Unbelievable. It is possible. Everybody became aware that, oh, somebody told me today that in Istanbul, there is a panic. If earthquake, which from time to time it happens in Istanbul, something like, I don't know, 14, 16 million people live there. Where are we going to? Homeless. Next door is Bulgaria, Greece. They keep fighting with each other for no reason, for stupid dignity and racial dignity, meaningless. These politicians are really heinous people. So they wouldn't accept that. The other part of the country cannot really accommodate 16 million people. But they have not luxurious life for themselves so that they will share. Now, these poor people really went to their relatives, friends, etc., all over the rest of the country. So they are somehow entertaining, and not much news coming from Syria. I'm very sorry, because everybody is angry with Syrian administration, but the poor people have nothing to do with the administration. We don't make distinction between poor, innocent people and there's dictators up there. But anyways, so this is, although nothing happened yet in Istanbul, they told me, but people are panicking, talking about it on Twitter, on I don't know, whatever, the means of social media, and saying that, hey, do you have anybody? If something happens to go, of course, there is a big if you are alive, right? So this experiencing continuous distraction from their consciousness is worse than the case described for the previous tribes or people of the local prophets in their life. So if you want to teach or really teach yourself and remind yourself, ask yourself, what did you enjoy yesterday? Where is it? What is your guarantee that you will enjoy tomorrow? Where is it? And bodily enjoyment. But your spirit wants eternal, full satisfaction. How can I really practice this eternal, full satisfaction within this, if in this case, terrible, changing, transient, fleeting world? What am I going to do with this? The only solution is to be aware of our Creator. That is the only very real witness. The need for believing in who my Creator is, in everybody's witness, as the Qur'an says, we appointed a muqarran or qarn, I think, in the word, but something to do with qarn, but maybe the word is with different form. It means ever present with him, ever present with each person, watching over, reminding him or her, of course, here I am. I want satisfaction. Where is it? I ate dinner today, perfect, with my friends. I was laughing. Oh, okay, but where is it? Gone. Where is it? Gone. Are you really cheating yourself? Or cheating me, trying to cheat me? I want permanent, full, perfect satisfaction. Your dinner, your party cannot ever satisfy me. It is just transient, and I know everything will be gone at the end of the life. And it is inevitable. I'm very thankful to Allah to create death. Otherwise, I will be an unmanageable monster. Why? Why should I bother about anything? I perfectly and permanently exist and enjoy my life. Why should I bother? But thanks to death, life becomes meaningful. So everybody has its own witness, as the Quran says. Everybody has its own witness within own himself. Although he may try to ignore it, he always say, here I am. You are getting closer to death, and that is inevitable. Who says this? The prophets? No. Yourself reminds your consciousness. And you cannot escape it because it is yourself. It is your reality. That is what we should understand. All these physical descriptions mentioned in the Quran concerning to the previous people, if we define ourselves in terms of body, worldly life, matter, only we have to experience this. There's no way to escape from it. That is mercy from our Creator. Because we will be all monsters, careless, do whatever you want to do. Whoever cheats the others will be the winner. Do your best. Exploit people as much as you can. Don't bother about anything. Now, people's consciousness prompted them, come on, help these homeless millions of people now. Suddenly became homeless. Why? As the people of Istanbul now talking about in social media, it can happen to me anytime as well. Wow. What a compassionate reminder. So that I will question who I am, what I am doing in this world. These meaningful destruction story of the previous people should not be transformed into our life as it is physically described there. We should never forget, I'm just wrapping up, we should never forget we are in the period of a prophet who is the prophet to all mankind. When all mankind, deniers, are destroyed, there is no need for this universe to exist anymore. Meaningless existence. The creator of the universe definitely look at the universe, says, I am created by a most wise, the wisest one, absolutely wisest creator. He cannot do anything. We can imagine that he may be doing something with no wisdom. So destruction is inevitable if people deny. As the sayings of the prophet, which is the closing narration from the prophet, now we can say, peace and blessings be upon him, alayhi salatu wassalam, says, oh man, I'm very sensitive now, emotional. If there was a person who still believes, uses the universe as evidence to their creator, still keeps loyal, submits himself to this news, Muslim, submits himself, not capital M Muslim, no. As the Quran says, Muslim remains in the world. Universe is worth being existing, because one man is equal to the universe. That is prophet. That is Allah's message. Okay, I cannot speak in, but I'm sorry. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله